KURV Broadcast Center in McAllen, Texas, in the mighty Rio Grande Valley. This is a News Talk 710 KURV special.
Who's that special?
This is a McAllen Runoff Candidate Forum.
We have a very special guest.
This KURV special is powered by Bird Ogden Fiesta dealerships of the Rio Grande Valley. Here's your host, Sergio Sanchez.
Along with Davis Rankin and Roxanne Flores, this is News Talk 710 KURV. And if you thought the last conversation, 2 to 3, went fast, boy, this one's definitely going to be at warp speed because we got 6 candidates to speak with today. Place 6, McAllen, Neri Esparza, Jose Cabeza de Vaca. Place 3, Thelma Tamés, Omar Quintanilla. Place 1, Lucia Thompson and Tony Aguirre. Davis, turn on that microphone of yours. Let's go.
Okay. What is your vision for the city of McAllen?
Larry, we go with you first. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Davis. So welcome, everybody. Thank you for hosting this. My name is Larry Esparza. I'm candidate for McAllen City Commission District 6. I'm a 2-term incumbent for McAllen ISD School Board. I've served for the last 8 years, where we've overseen the largest employers in the city of McAllen, an operating budget of approximately $242 million. I bring my experience to the table, overseeing the largest organization similar to the city. My plans for the city include addressing some of the issues that I've spoken to residents of District 6 over the last couple of months, which include, of course, drainage, infrastructure, and job opportunities for those who were affected by the pandemic. We also want to make sure, the McAllen and the residents of the Rio Grande Valley have received millions of dollars of stimulus money, and there's more money to come. We want to make sure that that money is properly and wisely and conservatively to make sure that all the residents of District 6 and the city of McAllen are taken care of.
All right, see if we can get you a little closer to the microphone, Larry, and clear up to some of the static. Pepe, Jose Cabeza de Vaca, go ahead, brother.
Thank you so much for having me here today, you guys and all the audience from KURV. My name is Pepe Cabeza de Vaca. I was born here in the city of McAllen. I went to McAllen Memorial High School, started in '89. That was 32 years ago. I started my high school. I'm the current chairman for the Planning and Zoning Board. I've been there for about 6 years and 12 total in the Planning and Zoning. I was at the Convention Center Advisory Board as well. I work for the county. I'm the assistant chief of staff for Commissioner Fuentes and before for Commissioner Eddie Cantu. And I've been involved in my community for many, many years, 17 years in different nonprofits, more than 20 years in business. I even got a Businessman of the Year a couple of times, one in Texas and one in McAllen. And the vision is very simple. What we need to do is to take care of the things that we have right now. And we have to go ahead and start with drainage. We have to go ahead and make sure that the funds that we have for drainage are allocated properly. We have about 10 drainage projects in District 6. 2 of them already completed. We need to check on the other 8 how it's going to go. The small business needs some help. We're going to go ahead and help them with different funds from the federal government and the state. We need to make sure that we go ahead and allocate them properly. Parks is a big issue. We need to go ahead and have our green space as well. I want to make it all-inclusive. All the parks in District 6, at least, I want them all-inclusive for those people with disabilities to be able to enjoy them as well.
Thank you, Pepe. We'll try to keep all the answers at around a minute. I'll try to keep them timed as best I can. Davis, repeat your question.
The question is, what is your vision for the city of McAllen?
Let's go to place 3. Thelma Tamés, what do you say, Ms. T?
Hi, good afternoon. The vision for the city, I'm going to try to kind of get a little bit of, for you to think back of this morning at around 6:30 a.m. or 7, all the way to maybe 9 a.m. when we woke up, and I'm not sure if you'll realize how beautiful the day felt today. The weather was perfect. Like, I was texting friends like, wow, this weather feels really good. This weather feels like if we're like in Seattle weather. I want for every resident in McAllen to wake up every day with that much pride and happiness of McAllen, for us to provide that experience that when we're walking out through our driving, we're having our windows down, that we see those parks that really empowered us to say, hey, you know what, these parks are amazing. I'm going to talk to my friends that are out of the area to come and visit us. That when we're going through our vacation list of where should we go, that people think of McAllen. And the way that we're going to do it is we do want to make sure that we're empowering the people in our area, providing them with the resources to be able to develop and provide them with skills for us to be able to retain.
All right.
I go to so many small businesses right now, and their concern is that they can't find folks to work these amazing businesses.
All right.
We need to be able to provide those resources. Am I over the minute?
Yeah, okay, but it's all right. That's good. It's going to move very, very fast. So you guys,
Okay.
yeah, stay, keep it close to your vest. Well, Commissioner Omar Quintanilla, only incumbent that is running right now. Omar, Thelma just promised beautiful weather and temperatures in the 60s every morning. How do you beat that?
Well, thank you, Serge and Davis. Thank you for having us on today. I'm a little hoarse, but bear with me. I'm a graduate of St. Mary's University, and I've been helping the community for the last 22 years as a banker. So I've been helping the small business community for quite some time. I'm also a graduate of Leadership McAllen, class 20. And since then, I've been involved with city advisory boards, first getting knowledgeable about all the inner workings of the city, right, through the community development board, through the library board, through my the associations that I've been involved in. And then I ran for office. And so all the experience leading up to that, and plus the last 4 years as a commissioner, is what I offer to the citizens of McAllen and to the residents of District 3. So the vision for McAllen, I want us to continue to be the economic and retail hub of the Valley, to continue to promote entertainment in our area. And I want the quality of life that we experience here in McAllen to be next to just to be phenomenal.
All right.
Because the more we do that, the more we're going to attract people into our city. 10-4.
Thank you, Commissioner Omar Quintanilla. Let's go to place one. Davis was asking vision for the city of McAllen. Lucia Thompson, what do you say, Ms. T?
Thank you, Sergio, and thank you, Davis, for having me here. And I want to answer Davis's question, but it seems like everybody's telling a little bit about themselves as well. So let me do both while I say this, while I answer it. I think the city of McAllen has been a leader in the Valley. I think we're considered the jewel of the Valley. I think in order for that to continue happening, we need to continue being a role model to the neighboring cities. And we can do that by electing officials who are focused on doing good and who will lead by example. I think that starts off with listening to small businesses, as some of the other candidates have mentioned. The small businesses are the backbone of our community. We have to sit there and ask them what's going on. McAllen is unique because of the small businesses that we have. I am a good listener. I'm a lawyer. I have a strong work ethic, and I'm not the kind of person that's going to make big decisions without doing my homework. And I promise to use the skills that I have as an attorney to the city of McAllen. I also think we need to make our city more enticing to non-native McAllen citizens so that they don't leave us after they've been here a few years, that they continue to stay here and buy property here and send their kids to school here and have the same pride that we all do. I was also born and raised in McAllen, and I want to make McAllen as great for my children as it's been for me.
All right.
Thank
you, Ms. Thompson. Tony Aguirre, place one. What do you say, Tony?
Good afternoon. How's everybody?
Doing good, brother. Go ahead.
I will tell you, Sergio, that McAllen has a long ways to go. We have done so much in the past. We have a great, beautiful city. We've been hit hard these last 2 years. We have to continue to finish with COVID. We still had 3 deaths today in COVID. So we've got to lick COVID first. After that, we have to continue to do the things that we've done before. Strong leadership, strong work ethic, good visionary people coming in and helping our city staff. I'm here to do that. I want to be part of a post-COVID growth. We have great potential here. We live in a great area. People that have come like it here, and we need to entice and have others find out and know what it is to live in a city like McAllen.
All right.
I just want to continue what we're doing, but always be visionary and always be learning and always trying to do the best that we can so that we can continue our growth and for people that lived here before to be able to come back to our area, and those that are searching for a great place to live, that they find out and see what we have to offer.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Thank you. You're listening to News Talk 710 KURV, a runoff candidate forum. We're talking to the folks, place 6, place 3, place 1, the candidates in the runoff for McAllen City Hall. Okay, this one is, I try to word it in a way that's short and understandable, with SpaceX and Brownsville. Port of Brownsville growth and potential LNG arrival and economic revolution. How can McAllen compete with Brownsville, or do we need to forge a new relationship with our sister city in Brownsville? For all commissioner candidates, Larry Spatza, what do you say, brother?
I don't think we need to be competing with them. I think we need to try and build a relationship with not so much Brownsville, but with SpaceX. They are the money source there, and they've reached out to Brownsville. I think we need to reach out to them, make every effort to connect with them and show them what McAllen has to offer. Not only location, but facilities, the airport, medical equipment, hospitals, universities here. We have a lot to offer, just as Brownsville does. And I think that's important, something that we can utilize and bank on when we reach out to SpaceX.
Okay, Larry, let's go to the next candidate, place 6. Pepe, what do you say? Pepe Cabeza de Vaca.
Thank you. Yeah, relationships are very important. When you have good relationships, everything goes well. There's thoughts sometimes that they want to go ahead and merge, just like the MPO did, and do the statistics, the metropolitan statistics. We have to be careful. We have to check on what is the pros and cons. We need to check on the statistics, because not everything or not all partnerships gives you a AAA kind of rating for funds and bonds. But it's always good to reach out. It's always going to be good to see what is it that they're going to offer, and we can invent ourselves a couple of things and make us also the McAllen the destination city. We've been the leader of the Hidalgo County. We've been the leader of the Valley for many years, and I don't see that cutting off anytime soon.
All right, thank you, Pepe. Thelma, what would you say? Place 3, Thelma Tamez.
And in my opinion, and something that I've always said, is as a region, we need to collaborate. It's not about competing with Brownsville, but when we offer the RGV and we offer McAllen, we're offering it as a whole. We're so much stronger together. And every time that we divide our numbers, we're falling behind at a state level and at a federal level. We come together and really push resources to maybe not attract SpaceX, but other tech companies. There's so many Fortune 50 companies that we could attract, that they have the best places to work with, that they have great benefits for residents. There's Google, Apple, Austin. There's so many cities that are always competing for these companies that McAllen could compete for one of those. We don't have to compete against Brownsville, but we have to compete against Austin. We have to compete against Houston. We have to compete against San Antonio and really collaborate as a union. Now, if they were able to get SpaceX, that's great. I think we should add value to that. But what can we offer by also including our small business? There has to be a balance where right now, being able to have enough folks to not only work at these companies, but for our small business as well.
All right. Thank you, Thelma. Commissioner Omar Quintanilla, what would you say, sir?
Well, we're going to benefit from SpaceX and from LNG just by merely of location. We're going to be able to supply them with a labor force here in McAllen that's strong and that's young and that's willing to work. I think our growth driver is going to be the medical school and medical research. It's going to be huge over the next 10, 15, 20 years. And so I think to the extent that we can, we need to support those endeavors. I think the fact that we have 2 international bridges is what's also helping us here, Hidalgo and Ansanduas. And once we get commercial traffic through Ansanduas, it's going to help us even more so, not only by improving the revenue that we get in through the city, but also making it easier for trucks, maquilas, to get to the other side. And so that's what I say is going to be our economic drivers over the next 5, 10, 15 years.
Thank you, Commissioner. Place 1, Lucia Thompson, what would you say?
I agree with the other candidates thus far, which is it's not necessarily to compete with them, but to highlight our positives and to show that together, yes, Brownsville could have something, but the city of McAllen has more that Brownsville doesn't have. We have Quinta Mazatlan. We have an airport that's superior to Brownsville's airport. We have the two bridges, like Commissioner Quintanilla mentioned. We have a labor force. We have schools that are better. In larger cities, a commute of 30 to 45 minutes isn't unheard of, even an hour and a half, even in places like Houston when people drive out to Sugar Land. So I think maybe that's a mindset of highlighting the positives that we have and not necessarily competing, because how is it that we compete with SpaceX? We obviously can't have a SpaceX in McAllen. So I think it's a matter of highlighting what it is that we do good.
Tony Aguirre, what would you say?
Well, location. SpaceX and the LNG plants need to be near the port, and the port of Brownsville needs to continue to grow. So yes, we have to be regional supporters, because we will always be able to shine, because the city of McAllen is just a beautiful place to live. It's well organized, and we will definitely compete with anyone in this region, because we are the leader of this region. So I'm all for the growth of this whole area, because it'll benefit us not only education-wise, because there will be money put in education, but it's also in the medical side. This is good times for our region, and we need to be in the table trying to help all this area grow. It will benefit us as the city of McAllen citizens for this growth to happen.
You're listening to News Talk 710 KURV. This is a McAllen City Hall Runoff Candidate Forum. Any questions you have, you're welcome to share those at News Talk 710 KURV Facebook Live. And just a heads up to all our participants today, which we're very grateful that you all made time to be with us today. Towards the end of the broadcast, something that we found fun at times, we'll ask each of you to ask a question of your opponent. So you might want to chew on that for the next 20 minutes, see what question you're going to lob to your opponent towards the end of the broadcast. With Davis Rankin and Roxanne Flores, I'm Sergio Sanchez. A very big thank you to Bird Ogden and Fiesta Dealerships for today's special broadcast.
Jeff Malden with the Bird Ogden Auto Group, and I've got the pleasure of representing both Mazda stores in Mission and in Edinburgh, the Subaru store in Edinburgh, along with the Volvo location, and the Kia franchise that's over in Mission as well. Right now, a lot of the programs are limited to lease specials and some low APR programs. We have seen a lot of the financing incentives in terms of low APRs and in terms of special lease programs. Silver lining for a lot of consumers, right now, trade-ins, your late model car has never been worth more money. If you're driving a late model car right now that's in good condition with low miles, you can get a premium for that car because we don't have the new ones, so we're switching customers to buy those. Provided we've got something that you like on the ground, it's a great time. And the cars that we do have on the ground, they're commanding a premium. It's a really, really interesting time in the marketplace right now, not one that I've seen in almost 30 years.
Are you still delivering vehicles for test drives, lease, and purchase at the end of the day? People go to the website, birdogden.com.
We still do remote test drives, even though we're reaching a level where I read yesterday that almost 50% of the U.S. population has been vaccinated and the CDC has started to relax measures and so forth. We are still taking the pandemic as an organization that is, as Bird Ogden, still very seriously, and we still put a premium on our employees and on our customer safeties. So we are still advocating for the digital retail purchase where you can purchase the car almost completely online to the point of even submitting an application to the bank and getting an actual approval. We still do the remote test drives. We will come to your house with a sanitized vehicle and allow you to drive it from your own driveway. And we still do remote deliveries where we'll take the car to you and deliver it and finalize the transaction in the comfort and safety of your home or your office.
Jeff Malden with birdogden.com. Purchase and lease. You choose the vehicle. It all starts at birdogden.com.
Thank you, Weslaco, and thank you, Rio Grande Valley, for listening today to News Talk 710 KURV, the Valley's official home for Fox News Radio.
Special news broadcast, News Talk 710 KURV, the news and talk authority for South Texas. We are so grateful. Appreciate you tuning in to the 710 AM radio, driving around town. You can also join us at Facebook Live 710 KURV. McAllen City Hall, the focus this hour till 4 p.m. We're speaking with the runoff candidates, place 6, place 3, place 1 for City Hall. Roxanne, back to you.
Thank you all for joining us today. First question, McAllen likely stands to receive over $40 million in COVID relief. How should McAllen spend it? Mr. Esparza.
Thank you, Roxanne. So over the last couple of months, I've spoken to a lot of the residents in District 6. Some of their concerns, and I think a lot of it go to infrastructure. There's a lot of areas in District 6 that are lacking curves, sidewalks. They're concerned about paved alleyways and things like that. Obviously, drainage has always been an issue. I know that while I've served on the school board, those are some of the areas that we've addressed as far as drainage. We built retention ponds throughout some of our neighborhoods. One of the other concerns that they have is parks type facilities. The city doesn't own a lot of green space, but the school district does. And we've worked well with our school and county and state officials to utilize that green space, to leverage tax dollars to build. The school district would provide the land, the school district would provide the equipment. So it's a win-win for everybody. The kids during the school have access to those facilities, and in the evening, the community can come out and enjoy it. We built one over at Brown Junior High over on Ware Road through PT funds where they built the track and so forth.
All right, Larry.
Is that my time?
Yeah, that's time, brother. We're staying in place 6. Pepe,
right.
Jose, cabeza de vaca, what'd you say, Pepe?
Thank you. Well, it's 40 million, and maybe there might be more. So one of the things that we need to do is to go ahead and pave the way for technological research, scientific research, economic development, because that's going to be the future tax revenue for the city of McAllen. Of course, parks is going to be important, but one of the things that I'm thinking about is that we have a lot of outstanding bonds out there. And if we can check, and maybe with that money, we can go ahead and pay those bonds we have them open for the next 10 to 15 years. We might save some money. I'm thinking it's in the sound of about 5 cents that we're paying on interest. So that'll be a good thing to explore, and that's going to give us a lot of more relief. But definitely, it's like I said, it's a twofold. It's 2 different things that we can do. We need to analyze it, but that's my 2 ideas.
10-4. And you're right, it's $42.6 million the city will be receiving. Roxanne was hoping that you didn't notice she was going to serve a 40 and keep the 2.6 in the pocket. Just kidding. Let's go to...
it's a fee.
Yeah. Thelma Tames, place 3. What would you say, Ms. T?
Due to the fact that it's a COVID relief fund that we're obtaining, and one of the biggest challenges right now that I see, and I say this all over again, is small businesses and businesses are having a hard time finding folks to get back to the workforce. Providing grants to small business and to employers to incentivize the workforce. This will be a way, because we'll get people back on the workforce, then we create customers. We could have all the customers in the valley, but if we don't have folks working the business and the challenges, we're not going to be able to provide. They're going to go out of business, and it's going to become a bigger issue. Helping them, creating a grant for them to bring us ideas that, hey, I'm going to offer a hiring bonus of $500 that they commit to an X amount of time frame. Just a way for us to be able to help them out. Of course, then after that, investing in the economy, then investing in parks, that's extremely important. Ultimately, the drainage is a big issue, but then of course, we want to make sure that we get McAllen, that we're moving forward, that we're providing them the resources, and that we're empowering them. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thelma. We'll close out this little segment with Commissioner Omar Quintanilla. Just a program note, because we're at the bottom of the hour. We'll get Commissioner Q, his opinion, and then we'll come back after the news, the break, and continue this theme right after the break. So, Commissioner Omar Quintanilla, $40+ million relief money, COVID relief money coming to the city. How should McAllen spend it?
Well, it's actually a little over 50 million, because we didn't spend about half of the monies from last year, the 18.9 million from the CARES Act. Okay. So I think infrastructure, number one, drainage, sidewalks, street lights, we need to focus on that so that we have an infrastructure that's the best that it possibly can be. Next, small business grants. We did small business grants last year. I think it could have been more, and I think we have an opportunity now to circle back around and do more to increase the amount and to allow at-home businesses to participate and locally owned franchises to participate, whereas we didn't allow it the last time around. So small business grants are important. The other thing, we can use some of that money, I feel, for property tax relief. Now, whether that's reducing the property tax rate or providing a one-time exemption, or even lobbying our appraisal district to freeze property tax values. One of the three, I think we ought to be able to do, because as property tax owners, we have the burden of paying every year.
Okay.
This property tax rate, and so I think we need help on that.
All right. Well, if guys have just programmed, stand by. You as a banker and a present commissioner at City Hall, if you could just indulge me real quick. Going back to what Peppa said, I know there's probably a lot of people asking that same question right now as a follow-up to what Peppa said. As a banker, and there's so much liquidity, there's so much money out there that's just being tossed around by the government, and the rates are so affordable. What do you think? Does it make sense to go ahead and pay off that, pay in cash for some other projects, and take advantage of the cheap money that exists right now? What would you say, Omar?
Well, I would say that, with, like you mentioned, interest rates are really low. Being able to pay off some of the debt at a higher interest rate was probably not what we want to do. I don't think we ought to be, there's really not a need right now for another bond issue. We have so much cash right now that cash needs to be used in terms of being able to use it for capital improvement projects, assets that will be around for a long time. So that's what we need to use the money for.
All right.
And so, using some of that money to pay off debt right now, it's probably not the wisest thing, but we do need to be wise with the money that we spend, for
right.
sure.
And in all fairness, Thelma, I want to come back to you on that same issue, since it is that same seat that you're vying for with Omar. Do you have any thoughts on that?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. T.
Thank you, Judge.
Let's take a break. News and commercials, and hang on to that thought, Larry. And remind me if I forget, because you want to talk about that too, right? Okay. Give me a thumbs up.
That's right.
So we'll talk with the candidates for place one, Lucia Thompson, Tony Guerra. We'll go back to Larry, because I know he's got a comment on what we're talking about right now. You're listening to McAllen City Hall Runoff Candidate Forum, News Talk 710 KURV. I'm Sergio Sanchez with Davis Rankin and Roxanne Flores. Your questions, comments, welcome at News Talk 710 KURV Facebook Live. Big thank you to Bird Ogden Fiesta Dealerships for today's broadcast.
Top and bottom of the hour news. This is News Talk 710 KURV.
3:33 on News Talk 710 KURV. Good afternoon. I'm Tim Sullivan. The fighting between Israel and the Palestinians may be nearing an end. Multiple reports say the Israeli Security Cabinet has accepted a ceasefire agreement with Hamas. It's expected to start in a matter of hours. The fighting is now in its 11th day and has killed hundreds of people. Wall Street, the Dow closed up today 188 points. NASDAQ gained back 236 from yesterday. The S&P 500 rose 43. Partly cloudy fair tonight, lows around 70. It's going to be warm again tomorrow, and watch for some stray thunderstorms. Highs from 86 to 91. Right now 83 at 710 KURV. News at the top and bottom of the hour, and when it breaks, and on demand at KURV.com. I'm Tim Sullivan, 710 KURV.
Jeff Malden with the Bird Ogden Auto Group, and I've got the pleasure of representing the Mission stores are located at the corner of Sherry Road and Expressway 83. That's the Kia and Mazda stores. And the Edinburgh Mazda, Subaru, and Volvo location are located at the corner of Klausner and Trenton in Edinburgh. So as we've seen the economy opening up and these restrictions being lessened, we're seeing lots of customers coming out and buying cars. We're still having record sales months, and we're still out there liquidating our inventory. All of the stores in our organization are still moving lots of volume. All of our COVID protocols and our safety measures are still in place. So people are still required to wear a mask, and all of our staff are all masked inside the dealership. do temperature readings and do a COVID protocol checklist. We're still taking all of those aspects very seriously. We are actively getting all of our employees vaccinated that want to get vaccinated. I've been vaccinated. Most of my management staff has. So we're doing everything that we can to protect not only our employees, but our consumers that are coming in through either for sales or for service. Our used car inventory is healthy, but at the same time, we're also selling record numbers of used cars, Sergio. We've been selling more used cars over the last 90 days than we've probably sold historically over the last couple of years on a monthly basis. The used car market right now is the strongest I've seen it in several decades, due in large part to the fact that the new car inventories are so lean. So if you've got a late model vehicle, like I said, that's clean and has low mileage, not only will we trade you out of it, shoot, we'll buy it from you right now. You can simply come to any one of our Bird Ogden locations with your vehicle, and we'll make you a cash offer on the spot.
Shop for, choose, lease, or purchase. It all starts at birdogden.com, and they deliver it to you.
This is your news, weather, and talk station. News Talk 710, KURV, and KURV.com.
News Talk 710, KURV.
Time is 3:36. News Talk 710 KURV. McAllen City Hall runoff candidate special to 4 p.m. If we need to, we might go just a little bit because, after all, that's our show coming up at 4, the 956 Drive Home. I'm Sergio Sanchez with Davis Rankin, Roxanne Flores, all the candidates in the runoff, place 6, place 3, place 1 for McAllen City Hall. So we heard from place 6 and place 3, and now we need to ask the same question for our friends over at place 1. Lucia Thompson, Tonya Aguirre. The millions of dollars, 40, 50 million bucks in CARES Act money, relief money for the city of McAllen. How should McAllen spend it? Ms. Thompson, what would you say?
I think it's a great opportunity. I think everybody acknowledges that it's an opportunity that McAllen's never had before. I think it's important that we definitely offer more assistance to the small businesses than we did last year with the money that we received last year. I recognize the limitations that we had considering the amount that we received, but this will be double what we received last year. I also think we need to focus on the infrastructure and the green space. If anything, this CARES money is to provide some relief for what we all suffered during this pandemic. I think something that we all did, I know in my neighborhood we did, you saw more people walking outside. And in my neighborhood, we don't have sidewalks, so I doubt we can put them in at this point. But everybody was up and down the trail there on 2nd Street in Trenton. I think it's a matter of beautifying it and making it nicer. There are parts of it that need some help. I know specifically from Trenton to Dove, there are. I think around the city, we definitely need some help with other green spaces because there are parts of this town that just don't have it. And we need to make this place appealing. When people arrive in McAllen, it needs to be an appealing place and not just, oh, this is McAllen and you have to drive all the way to North McAllen to see something that is, quote, nice.
All right.
So I think we need to make it a city priority.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. Tony Aguirre, what would you say?
Well, we have to invest this money very extremely wisely. We have this opportunity, and like I said, we still have between $6 to $8 million that we still have not spent from the first now. So we still are here to look and make sure that we spend it wisely. We've got to beat COVID. We've got to take care of the monies that we spent with our immigration situation that we're still going through. And after that, the money needs to be put into us getting us ready for the future. Making ourselves accessible at the highest speed is very, very important, not only for us citizens, but our education, our medical research. We have to invest money in the 5G network, in other the thing that will get us to be so that we can able to compete with everyone. So we need to be fast.
Thanks, Tony. Larry, I know you wanted to chime in on this issue as well, expand a bit more. What do you want to say, Larry?
Real quickly, yes, thank you, Sergio. So when you talked about paying off bond debt with interest rates as low as they are, I know one thing we did last year at the school district was we refinanced some of our bond debt, saved the taxpayers a couple of $1 million. Over the last 8 years that I've served on the school, we've lowered the tax rate twice, once in 2015 and another again last year in 2019. The tax rate for McAllen is one of the lowest. I was looking at lowest in the valley. I was looking at a chart surrounding 20 cities, and I think there's only 2 other cities that are lower than McAllen. So I think there's a lot of ways we can use that money. Working on projects, paying them as you go is a good option to use so that you don't have to borrow. Using in-house staff is also a good option, but to the point where you don't want to overburden the staff and then the projects take longer.
All
So
right.
to the extent you can use in-house employees, great, but if it's going to delay a project out 2 or 3 years, then I think we probably need to bid something like that out. And I just wanted to add that.
10-4. Thank you, Larry. 30 seconds, Pepe. Do you want to say something else?
Yes, thank you. Yes, there's a lot of revenues that we can check. There's a lot of bonds. There's a lot of grants out there for parks and for other kind of projects that we need to take care of. On the drainage issues, we're already working on it. Like I said, just in District 6, there's 10 different ones. But we need to check also on the fiscal responsible part. That's why I mentioned that we need to look into see if we can pay those outstanding bonds.
Okay.
Because that's going to give us the relief of the taxpayers' money by 5 cents, which is 10%. What we're doing for the next 10 to 15 years.
There's a flood of money headed this way from that Relief Act over the next couple of years. And, of course, like Omar said, there's still some unspent money from the last segment. Davis, back to you. Quick question.
There was a proposal a few years ago to use the Bowie Reservoir, which is on the south side of the expressway at about Bicentennial, to drain that property and use it for a mixed-use project that would be a destination, something that would draw people from outside the city of McAllen to come and recreate and spend their money there. The thinking being that what stores used to be singular in McAllen are no longer singular. What would a destination project look like?
All right, Larry, let's start with you since you're at the top of the list. Go ahead, Larry.
Are you talking about at that particular location, Davis, or just in general?
That location, they're draining that to put the water south of town to open up that land for development. Don't know what's in prospect for it, but just in general, if you want to draw dollars from outside the city of McAllen.
In other words, what needs to happen to make McAllen a destination city?
Yeah.
That was an example that you used. Yeah. What would you say, Larry?
Well, obviously entertainment. The Valley's always looking for entertainment sources. We have a couple of locations where they hold concerts in different places like that. I know that out there at Tres Lagos, that's part of the 20-year development plan out there. They started with the homes. Then the plan is to develop it with shops, retail, and so forth. So that's way on the north end. This is over here. If that's the location that they're proposing or still in the plans, I would think something similar to that. We do have venues already. We have the convention center to hold concert type events. There's several locations around the valley also. So I think those would be great ideas, just depending on the cost, of course.
Is that a priority for you, Larry?
Not exactly. I don't think that's something we need right away.
Okay.
I think people are still reluctant out in big events, although you see them out there, but there's still a lot of people that aren't. So I don't think that's a priority right now. I think
10-4.
the priority is getting people. Did speak to a small business the other day. One of the candidates mentioned they can't open up during the lunch hour. They can't find employees.
Let me head over to Pepe. Jose Pepe Cabeza de Vaca. Destination city. What do we need to do to make McAllen a destination city, Pepe?
Well, one only thing won't make a place a destination city. You need a combination of different things. And going to the American Planning Association State Convention and National Convention a couple of times, I have talked to bigger cities, and what they say is always have to be a combination. They have to be at least six to eight different venues that will attract people because they want to go ahead and visit different parts of town while they're come to be here. I remember the Reservoir Project back then. It was going to be a mixed use / amusement park, and that was going to. I believe that back then it was Carlos Slim was going to be the guy that was going to put the money into that project. And as we know, Carlos Slim is one of the richest guys in the world. He was going to make significant investments into the city. I think that was going to be a detonator for the city as far as to becoming a destination city. It didn't happen for whatever reasons, but But yeah, it's the different venues that we have. Quinta Mazatlan is becoming a great thing for McAllen, and,
Okay.
and it can be the detonator and start.
I'll ask you the same thing. Is it a priority for you, Pepe? Real quick.
Right now, I think the priority should be in the infrastructure, and it should be in other
Okay.
venues. Now, if we have the opportunity, of course we'll take it and we'll look into it.
All right. Let me go to place 3. You okay, David? You all right? You better not pass out, man. You're out of luck. My goodness. Let's go to place 3. Thelma Tames. What needs to happen to make McAllen a destination city?
We definitely need to go ahead and start with working with what we have. Unfortunately, last year we weren't able to go ahead and come together because of COVID. But McAllen has great events like McAllen, the Palmas Festival. There's so many great festivals that we have throughout the year that if we, as a population of the RGV, we start supporting and really giving back. It's like even, it's not a McAllen, but we have so many great sports and entertainment that happen across the region. If we take our time to go and empower them and support them, then we're able to talk to our friends and folks that are outside of the region. And they're like, hey, you know what, visit us. You'll be able to get some great soccer, or you'll be able to go to a great basketball, or you're going to be able to go to a great food festival. We travel to ACL to Austin. I travel with my friends to Austin every year to the Texas Women Conference. We want to be able to empower and bring light to the events that we already have, and be able to have that passion for them to be able to share it with other folks and for them to plan their trips around those times. Then you offer McAllen as a region. Hey, once you're here, I've had friends that visit me from Seattle because they've come to T-Mobile because of work. We take them to Progreso.
Okay.
We take them to the island. For them, that's completely new to walk around, like to cross the bridge.
All right.
So those are the things that we should definitely start off with.
Thank you, Ms. Thelma. Let's go to Commissioner Omar Quintanilla. What would you say, Mr. Q?
McAllen has been a retail destination for a number of years. La Plaza Mall, for example, many from Mexico come pre-pandemic and have shopped at La Plaza Mall for a number of years. So retail, we've been a destination point for quite some time. We have been concentrating more on sporting and on entertainment over the last few years. I remember 2019, the Chamber of Commerce put together a number of wonderful events in the city that was attractive to people outside of the city. And that's really what we're going for, is not only people from the Valley and South Texas, but also Northern Mexico, coming to McAllen to shop, to be entertained, and for events. And so, to the extent that we can continue and expand those offerings, I think we need to focus on that. And 2019, we did a really good job. I think we're going to get back to that really soon here as the pandemic subsides.
Thank you, Commissioner. Place 1, Lucia Thompson. McAllen as a destination city, do we need to do more? What do we do?
I think we definitely need to do more. I don't think we have enough mixed use. You go out of town, you see buildings, even in La Cantera in San Antonio. I mean, you see buildings, you have apartment complexes in there, you have businesses that are in there, you have offices that are in there. I think it's a matter of having more of that and making it more appealing to people to be able to walk around and not necessarily have to drive everywhere. I think we definitely need the green space for sure. I think if we were able to do something, I think an amphitheater would be nice. Davis mentioned the Bowie Reservoir. I think we've got some limitations doing that, considering the height limits that we've got with the airport there. But definitely it's something that needs to be looked at for the vision of McAllen and the future of McAllen, but I don't think it's the priority for today.
All right. Tony, what would you say? Tony Aguirre.
Well, I was in the middle, right around 12 to 15 years ago when we started talking about the relocation of the Bowie Reservoir because it was in a prime location. So we moved into a 55-acre tract, and we have a reservoir there. It's around 2 miles south. So we were preparing ourselves for this area to become a destination area, to become a multi-need purpose area. So they could bring in monies, infrastructure, revenues that will sales tax dollars, so that we have to put this area, these acres into good use for this area. Yes, I would make this a priority of mine, amongst other things. I'm a multitasker. I work constantly, and this is extremely needed. We need to put this area into good use that will help us so that our ad valorem taxes will stay one of the lowest in the area.
Okay.
We have a lot to do.
10-4. Thank you, Tony. Okay, so as I promised earlier, this is kind of like a Joker's Wild segment. We'll see what happens with this. If you don't have a question, that's fine. We can move on and go to final comments here in a second. But do the candidates have a question for the opponent? Larry, let's go back to you. Do you have a question for Pepe Cabeza de Vaca?
Sure, Sergio. So over the last couple of months, in talking to the voters and reaching out, I talked about my experience, my substantive experience. I've been elected twice, and I know the responsibility of representing the voters regarding tax rates and budget management. Mr. Pepper, how do you compare your advisory committee experience to my substantive experience?
That's an easy one. Thank you. So the Planning and Zoning Board is in charge of the development of the city, how it's going to be grown. And that comprehends about half of the city commission meetings or agendas. I work for the county as well, as you remember, in an administrative position. I'm the assistant chief of staff for one of the county commissioners. Actually, I work for two of the county commissioners. And I was involved also in those kind of things. I've been involved in budgets. I've been involved in operations. I've been involved in policy. So that gives me a very good grasp. I've been in business and as a business owner for more than 20 years in different businessman of the year. Also, that is budget concern. So I have all the experience. I have the business experience and I have the county experience and the city experience to lead the city.
All right, Pepe, so what's your question for Larry? Place 6, McAllen.
Thank you. Back a couple of years, there was a bond for the school board. And I think that you were for that school bond. It's a yes or no. Were you for that school bond?
So the purpose of a school board or board of trustees is to present the ideas and bring it forth for the voters to decide. And that's, as a trustee, the 7 of us, that's exactly what we did. We put together a plan with a committee. The committee came up with some ideas, put it on the ballot, and the voters decided they didn't want it. We accepted that.
70-30, yeah.
We move on to the next candidate. Ms. Thelma Temes, what's your question for Commissioner Omar Quintanilla?
Thank you so much. One of my rule of thumbs, because I've sat with so many people, and I've always get asked, well, what do you have to ask about, say about Omar, or what do you have to ask or say anything? I stop conversations every time I get people to try to talk negative about him, because anytime that I interview for a job or a role, I had to speak about myself and I talk about my qualities and my competencies. So today that you're asking for us to ask our candidate a question, I'm actually gonna go ahead and bring some awareness to the comments that are on your Facebook. The folks are giving kudos to Mr. Omar's gray hair, and I would like for him to share where he gets his haircut, because the fans that are listening to this amazing show. And by the way, I was texting Omar back and forth. We're like, this is weird. I'm supposed to ask you a question. So Omar, do you want to please share with the folks that are watching us what you do your hair?
Well, Serge and Davis, and to those that are listening, as you can tell, in District 3, we're very friendly, and so I want to be truthful about it. I go to sports clips. We have a sports clip there, and the ladies are very nice, and they do a great job. And so I guess it's my turn, right? I have a really a curveball question here for Thelma. It's gonna be so hard that you're really gonna have to think about this one very hard. But what's your favorite color? I think everybody's wondering that.
You really are making me sweat right now.
Green.
It's green. It definitely is green. Thank you so much, Omar, and for everybody that's
All
listening.
right, I just want to
and
know
for
if
the
Omar
folks that organized it.
I want to know if Omar gets the brewski over at Sports Clips as he is enjoying his haircut. You okay, David? All right. Let me go to place one. Lucia Thompson, your question for Tony Aguirre. Do you have one?
Yes, I do. Mr. Aguirre, well, Tony, I should say, because we've met. Tony, serving on the PUB and being a developer gives you some insight into some of the ongoings and opportunities in the city compared to other developers. How many times have you abstained from voting on issues that have come before you in the last 27 years?
Every single time that I have a development that I am entertaining or doing, I abstain to it. I definitely have been a developer in this whole region, and I intend to do that because I love creating neighborhoods. So it is all part of making sure that I'm able to sustain my living and my family, and I love what I do. So I do not have any conflicts, and I've never. I've been in a board that we have always been very conscious of that, very, very conscious of that, of any type of conflict. I do not have conflict in anything that I have ever done in this city, much less me serving for 27 years on the PUB.
All right, Tony. Let's throw the ball back. You have a question for Miss Lucia Thompson?
No, I really don't. I'm here to serve. I'm here to run for opportunity.
Then we'll
serve this area, District 1.
10-4.
Be a commissioner. So
Let me.
I commend anyone to run and to want to serve this area. So no, I don't really have a question.
10-4. Thank you, Tony. Okay, so let me see. Calculate. Let me give about 20, 30 seconds each candidate. Who you are, why folks should vote for you. Place 6, McAllen. Larry, you got less than 30 seconds. Go ahead, brother. Closing thought.
Thank you. So real quickly, again, my name is Larry Esparza. I'm your candidate for McAllen City Commission District 6. Over the past 8 years, you have entrusted me to serve as your school trustee, and I'm asking for you to vote for me again, or vote for me for McAllen City Commissioner. During this time, over the past 8 years, we've cut the tax rate twice. We've refinanced the bond debt to save their taxpayers millions of dollars. I will be conservative with your tax dollars. I will make sure that the money, the stimulus we're about to receive is spent wisely.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, brother. Larry Esparza, place 6. Jose Pepe, Cabeza de Vaca. About 30 seconds. Go ahead, Jose.
Thank you so much. Just a reminder, I have 12 years in the Planning and Zoning Board for the City of McAllen. 6 as your chairman is a leadership position. I've been 7 years in the county as assistant chief of the staff, 6 years of experience in crisis management, over 20 years in business. The right combination of business and city government is what I possess. I'm fiscally responsible. We go ahead and do all the infrastructure and all the things that we need to have a better quality of life for your kids and for my kids. At the end of the day, I'm a father just like you. I want the best city possible for our kids to grow up.
Thank you, Pepe. Program note for our producer extraordinaire, the mighty Joe Salinas. We're going over, Joe. When we come back after break, we go straight to Tim Sullivan for the local news, and we start the show. Okay. So place 3, Thelma Temes. Tell folks real quick, about 30 seconds, who you are again and why they should vote for you. Place 3, McAllen. Go ahead, Ms. T.
Thank you so much. My name is Thelma Temes, and I'm running for place 3. I welcome you to my social media. I want to go ahead and take this time to acknowledge all of our military for May being Military Appreciation Month. Your passion and what you've done for this country, it's really unheard of. Thank you for all of your service. Thank you.
Commissioner Q, Omar Quintanilla. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. I'm Omar Quintanilla. I'm the commissioner in District 3. I've been the commissioner for the last 4 years. Over that time, we've done quite an extensive job of improving our drainage situation in the city. We've also provided small business grants, Wi-Fi access to almost half the city. And I want to use my experience as not only a commissioner for the last 4 years, but my experience as a banker for the last 22 years to benefit our community for the next 4 years. And so I ask for your vote and your support. Please go to my social media pages, Omar Quintanilla on Facebook and Instagram, or omarforjury.com for more information.
Thank you, Omar. Thank you, Commissioner. Place one, Lucia Thompson. A final thought, about 30 seconds, who you are and why folks should vote for you. Ms. T, go ahead.
At the end of the day, I am a lawyer. So by trade, I have to listen to people. I'm also accessible. I'm a hard worker who can collaborate and work well with others. At the end of the day, you're one vote on city council. If you can't work with the people sitting with you, you could have a great idea, but it's not going to get very far. I have a strong work ethic, and I'm able to bring a new perspective to the city of McAllen. Again, I'm not a polished politician, but I am a successful professional, and I'm asking for your support.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. Tony Aguirre, go ahead, brother.
I've been a public servant for many, many years, over 30 years and more. I enjoy what I do. I've created a tremendous amount of jobs, a created amount of neighborhoods, ad valorem taxes to this city. I am very proud of everything that I've done and everything that our companies have done throughout the years. I want to share all that vision. I want to grow. I want to be able to work with our city commissioner like I work with the KURV trustees. We have a great relationship. We're going to learn together. We're going to work together, and we're going to use this money properly. I'm here to serve you. Thank you for allowing me to be.
Thank you, Tony. Thanks to all the candidates. Larry Esparza, Jose Pepe Cabeza de Vaca, place 6, place 3, Thelma Tamez, Omar Quintanilla, or incumbent, and place 1, Lucia Thompson and Tony Aguirre. Early vote is next week, folks. Election day is June 5th. Thank you to Davis Rankin, Roxanne Flores, producer Joe, and all the gang here at KURV. Stay tuned for the 956 Drive Home next, and a very big thank you to Bird Ogden and Fiesta Dealerships for today's special show.